Before you leave your private quarters to come out in public, stand before the mirror and never leave that mirror until you look right to yourself. And here again, beauty is not just simply a matter of physical characteristics at all. The song has put it so wonderfully when it says, everyone is beautiful in his own way. You take J.J., he's beautiful. Ugliest child I ever seen, but he's beautiful. Isn't he beautiful? Yes, he is. He's romantic, and money loves him. Wouldn't win any beautiful contest, yet all those beautiful girls in Hollywood just falling all over him. Because he's dynamite. See, this shows you something, that this matter of beauty, this matter of money and everything is a matter of self-awareness. There are people who go around because they do not have what is commonly thought of as physical beauty, who are down on themselves for that. And some of the ugliest people in the world are rich. You are only ugly if you have an ugly self-awareness. That's the only thing that makes self-awareness. Is the only thing that makes you ugly or pretty. Say that with me. Self-awareness is the only thing that makes you ugly or pretty. Think about it. Be romantic. Again, be romantic. And I didn't say be fresh. There's a difference. I didn't say go around with a plastic smile. I said smile from the inside out. I didn't say go around with this sticky, syrupy kind of love. The Apostle Paul said, and correctly this time, the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us. When you have a self-awareness of the whole Spirit, the wholeness of God, the allness of God, the completeness of God within you, it will be in you a well of water springing up the everlasting life. You see, this is why, for example, and it's my idiosyncrasy, one of my idiosyncrasies, this is why I don't like religious buttons. There's nothing that there's, I want you to understand that, because this church had out some buttons some time ago, and I told them to get rid of them. It's not because there was anything immoral or anything wrong as such with that. There is not. But the stuff that I use, and the stuff that I'm trying to get you to use, is something that shines so brightly that you don't need to go out there and try to twist people's arm and try to knock people down to make them know that God is in you. I want you to be so full of the consciousness of the love and the joy of the Lord that you won't have to wear a billboard on your back and a button on your chest. I want you to let this thing so shine out through you that people will come up to you, perfect strangers in a city, and say to you, hey, there's something about you. What is it? And I want to call this reverse evangelism. It's the first time I've ever heard that statement, but this comes through to me now from the Christ mind. And say it with me together. Reverse evangelism. Say it again. Reverse evangelism. And what does the Spirit mean by reverse evangelism? It means instead of getting out there on street corners and having to twist arms and cuss and damn people to hell, that God will be so real in you, through you, and as you, that people will come to you voluntarily. Your religion ought to be something that will draw people to you, instead of something that you will try to impose and force upon somebody else. This is the kind of evangelism that we're engaged in now. Reverse evangelism. Say it with me again. Reverse evangelism. You don't have to try to argue with your friends. And once again, I say this, and I tell people this in just about every session. Remember that what we're dealing with here is not something that you argue about. This is not something that you argue about. This is not something that you try to twist people's arms to make them believe in. This is something that you let so live through you. As the Master said, let your light so shine that men will see that you can't lose with the stuff I use. So there may be a lot of people who don't agree with Reverend Ike, but one thing they know and they have to admit, my stuff is working. They'll tell you that. His stuff is working. Say with me, my stuff is working. And you see, here we learn to just shut our mouths and let the stuff work. See, while they're going yakety yak, I pass by them in a Rolls Royce. The more they talk, the better I look. The more they criticize money, the richer I get. So we're not trying to twist anybody's arm to this. Just keep on being romantic. Be nice. And the last point of this summation before we do the prayer. Remember that self-awareness is everything. I've told you this before, and I will probably repeat it a few thousand more times. All of life can be summarized in the word, or in the term, self-awareness. All else is commentary. And the whole purpose of all of the Scriptures, Hebrew, Christian, and of other faiths, the whole purpose is to display to mankind the reality of self-awareness. I am always becoming that which I am conscious of being. Say that with me. I am always becoming that which I am conscious of being. And the mastery of life consists of being able to manipulate your own self-awareness. That's the mastery of life. And I'm careful to point out, and there's so much here, only a few pages comparatively. You can read all those books on that stand. But this condenses the whole thing. Self-awareness is money. It's the only money there is. And you cannot help but buy that which belongs to your self-awareness. And the mastery of life, as I was about to say, consists in knowing how to manipulate your own self-awareness. And we underline your own self-awareness. When you understand this, you no longer try to manipulate other people. You no longer try to manipulate the world. As a matter of fact, you no longer worry about other people, and you no longer worry about the world. You don't try to save the world anymore. You realize that the only person that you can save is your own self. So don't take on the world. Now, I hate to get into that again with you good Christian people here tonight. Jesus wouldn't try that again. See, he didn't come back yet, did he? Did he? He wouldn't try that again. I did my baccalaureate thesis in comparative religions, and there have been many wonderful spiritual men and otherwise who've tried to save the world, many who've tried to conquer the world. But the world has never been saved, the world has never been conquered, and the world will never be saved or conquered. Salvation is an individual matter, and each man must save himself, and when you do that, you do well. And anybody who takes it upon himself to try to save the world, you be sure that you're ready to be crucified. If you're not, leave it the hell alone. Because the cry of the world concerning any of its would-be saviors is crucify. It doesn't appeal to me. That's why I left it alone. That's why I say to the world, if you don't want to go to heaven, you can go to hell. I'm going to save myself from this untoward generation. You can be poor if you want to, but I'm going to be rich. You can talk about black power if you want to, but I'm going to have green power.